So Mauer Der Toten has been out for a good few days now, and a lot of the Easter eggs in the map have been found. But something that I've not seen anyone really talk about is the fact that there are secret cipher messages within Mauer Der Toten that you can get from killing random elites. These drop secret cipher messages which the community have to go and decode. And in this video, we're going to be going over all 3 secret messages which can be dropped by these elites and have been solved by various members of the community. Now, these sorts of messages are reminiscent of the old days of classic zombies Easter eggs of cipher messages hidden around the map. And when it comes to storyline hidden within intels, these contain some of the most juiciest parts of new storyline details that you can learn from the map. So let's jump straight into it. The first one we'll be looking at is the E cipher, and this was solved by RichKiller, who is renowned for solving so many ciphers over the years. Absolutely massive thank you to him. But when decoded, this E cipher says, "G, I don't know what's happening to her, but we both know something is happening to her. We each care about her, so I wanted you to know that I'm doing everything I can to help. W." Well, if we break this down, we can work out that G stands for Grey and W stands for Weaver. And this is Dr. Grey having a conversation with Weaver about Samantha. They both know that something is happening to Samantha, but Grey can't work out exactly what it is. They both care about her, so Weaver is reassuring to Dr. Grey that he's doing everything he can to help. Now, in earlier intels from Season 4 and Season 3 Reloaded, we learn that Dr. Grey is starting to establish a close bond with Samantha, with Grey being the only person that Samantha really trusts when it comes to discussing personal details about herself. But we got to look a little bit more into what she means by "we both know something is happening to her." I'm assuming this is taken before the ending cutscene for Mauer Der Toten, where we see Samantha use her ethereal powers that she possessed as a child to open a teleporter to save the Requiem strike team and bring them back home. She's demonstrated that she has the power to open portals in this world, which is awesome. I'm so excited to see where her powers go. But we also know that there's someone in Requiem which doesn't like this, and that is the director himself. We see in the final scenes that Maxis presents a problem that must be dealt with. Her powers are growing. Samantha's really been going through it ever since she came back from Firebase Z, but it's clear at some point that these powers are going to grow too strong for Requiem to control. And that's something that the director has a serious problem with. Now, we don't know what his ultimate motives are, but it's quite clear that he is a bit of a villain from the end cutscene, and something is going to happen to Samantha in the next stage of the storyline. If this ending didn't confirm it, this cipher focusing on Samantha definitely indicates that. Let's now move on to the next cipher, which is called J Cipher 2. This was solved by RichKiller again, so massive props to him, and this says, "From Requiem to Klaus. Subject, complete your mission. You have your orders. The security of Project Janus is your top priority. Contain the situation. Find and destroy the intercepted communique. Then tie up all loose ends. We cannot allow this to get out." Now, this quite clearly is literally what you'd see typed on the screen from the director as direct orders sent to Klaus. Now, if you've looked at any of the intel for the storyline, I won't explain it too much as we'll go a bit more in depth in a future video, that essentially Klaus is a robot created by Dr. Grey, capable of long range and hand-to-hand combat. But according to intels, we learned that according to Grey, Klaus is not yet ready for actual combat scenarios. Weaver intercepts her message asking for the robot's whereabouts, explaining to her that the director of Requiem himself pulled Klaus out of research and development to be deployed in Berlin. Now, why did he send them to Berlin? Well, the agents working in the safe house in Berlin unintentionally received details of this Project Janus that the director mentions at the ending cutscene. In order to stop the details from it, he sent a hitman, essentially, disguised as a robot. Started out with Klaus murdering one person and making it seem like it was an accident, but over time, Klaus murdered every single one of the team there, and this cipher essentially tells us that that was not an accident. The director gave Klaus this command with the intentional murder of the entire team to make sure that the details of Project Janus don't get out. Now, that is pretty horrifying, right? For the director of Requiem to do this, someone who seems to be, you know, the leader of the good team, and abusing that authority for his own agenda, which we're definitely going to be seeing more of in the future. Now, I am going to be making a video detailing everything about Klaus and the storyline for Mauer Der Toten, so if you like the sound of that, let me know in the comments and drop a like if you haven't already. So moving on to our last and final secret message, this was solved very recently by OriginWormy with the help of RichKiller. Now, this is an F cipher, and when solved, it says, "Colonel, we're going about this the wrong way. We shouldn't be trying to kill the Forsaken, we should be trying to capture it. Think about it, this could be the most powerful creature from their reality. It is an elder god, it has power beyond anything we can comprehend. Who knows what could be gained from harvesting it? Zykov says he can help. All he wants from us is to break him free. We should act fast before Requiem takes him up upon his offer. P. This is definitely in the perspective of Dr. Peck messaging the Colonel directly, and as we learned from previous intel, Zykov, who is the stranger trapped in the Dark Ether, has been contacting both Requiem and Omega with the promise of helping them if either team helps get him out of the Dark Ether. Now, we learn a lot in Mauer Der Toten that the one inside of the Dark Ether, this all-powerful creature, is actually called the Forsaken, and Dr. Peck has realized that rather than trying to kill this Forsaken, they should capture it and use its power, because at that point, Omega will hold power beyond any possible comprehension and will absolutely win the Cold War and have full access to the Dark Ether, as they'll have its commander. But you've also got to look at this and be a little suspicious of what Zykov's ultimate motives are, as he's mentioned on several occasions that for both Omega and Requiem, he is working on building a device to capture the Forsaken. But at this point, he's been in there for over 40 Earth years. Now, I don't know how long that is in Dark Ether terms, but that's an incredibly long time, and I doubt that he survived 40 years in there without being changed to some degree. I mean, we look at Samantha. She was in there for about 6 to 8 months, and clearly that experience changed her a lot. And look at Valentina, who's been in the Dark Ether, and how twisted and corrupted she ended up being. I definitely think there's a little bit more to Zykov than him just being that innocent soldier that to seal the breach in Project End Station all the way back then without there being some sort of other motive. We're at that point in the Cold War Zombie storyline where everyone is sus of each other. The director is the most sus of all. But if you want to learn more about the storyline of Mauer Der Toten and where we're going to be going, then the intels is definitely where you're going to want to be looking. And especially when Treyarch hide messages which need to be deciphered like this is definitely future storyline information we're looking at here. And if we look back to a cipher from D Machine, right from the game's launch in November, it was talking about Operatia Inversia, which we now know exactly what that was the plans and the Easter egg in Outbreak Easter Egg 1. Since on the channel I've covered the main Easter egg quest with the guide as well as every known side Easter egg thus far, there definitely could be more lying out there, but at the moment what we've got so far is what we've got so far, and these are definitely deemed as side Easter eggs as well in my opinion, so I thought it'd be good to cover this in case you guys picked these up in game but didn't know what they meant, or you were just interested to learn some more story. We're bringing more storyline videos out in the next few days, so definitely subscribe if you want to see that content and like the video as well. Let me know all your theories about this in the comments section below. And if you like zombies merchandise, for the release of Mauer Der Toten, I've released a brand new set of Wonder Weapon blueprint posters. This is a pack of 4 posters, one with the Ray K84 blueprints, another with the Ray Gun Mark II, another with the Gersh device, and another with the Wave Gun. We're in the classic Black Ops 1 blueprint style that we're getting for teasers of new Wonder Weapons for every DLC, and if you're an avid zombies fan and collector, you'll definitely want to have these on your walls. And if you like perks, then I've got a poster pack which contains all 8 perks currently in the game that you can have on your walls. You can check it all in the link down below.